Well, hi there and welcome along to What's the Word in association with Ladbrokes. I'm Tom Malone, joined this week by Brendan Duke. Are you well?
Good form, thanks, Tom.
Yeah, enjoying the Indian summer?
Very much so. I got a swim in today in the sea.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's invigorating. Yeah.
Did you even get to do that during the summer?
Not as much as I should have, because it wasn't a great summer, in fairness. I don't really like to go down when it's overcast. I like to bask.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was basking today.
Brilliant. What about you, Nicola? You well? You have the summer wardrobe out as well.
I do, but I'm still stuck in an office, so, I'm trying.
No sea swims for you?
No.
What about you, Brian? Sea swimming?
No swimming, no.
No.
Still in good form.
I just don't get those people. It's the Irish Sea. It's freezing. It's horrible. No. Anyway.
Look at you. He's invigorated by all of this.
Made of different stuff.
Invigorating experience last weekend, as long as you know Irish Champions weekend. As it stands, I think the fund for cancer trials broke the €2.5 million mark this morning, so that's pretty incredible. Like the outpouring for Pat Small another day was something to behold, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think for the first time we've seen a buzz in the new car. I thought it was probably one of the most enjoyable days I've had racing in a long time. Seeing all those legends lining up in one race and all the horses, that picture after the race was exceptional.
Desi back in the commentary box as well.
Desi back in the commentary box. I mean, it was such a nostalgic day. Smullen is just an absolute legend, what he's done for the whole charity, raising awareness. The money that's been raised, I don't think they would have even aspired to raise a smidgen of that. So it's such a great community that we've got. And when we all rally together, I mean, it's top notch to everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. An equine performance that lit it up though was Peanut Tubo. Nicola, how do we bet for him in the 2,000 guineas?
5-4 for the 2,000 guineas, which it looks a big price compared to some people. I think we're top price, and I think this is the best 2-year-old any of us have seen in a long time, and it's just a case of getting there now. If Godolphin can train him on and bring that 2-year-old, I think if it was an O'Brien or a Judgment horse, would probably be odds on.
Possibly,
for the race.
Yeah,
so it's just can Godolphin convert it onto a 3-year-old form and see. But
Juki, you were the senior analyst on the panel. So do you reckon Godolphin can get Peanut Tubo to the guineas? And
well, I think we need to delineate this. This isn't being trained by Bin Saror. I mean, it'd be a write-off then. It'd be 5-1. This is the Apple. I mean, the Apple has been a common force in international racing for he's just getting better and better and better. And he's no previous for horses really disappear. Well, certainly no more than the average banana. So I think we can, in the Apple we trust. If this horse avoids injury, it's good night. I mean, that 5-4, I wouldn't have the nerve to back a horse because I couldn't sleep for a whole winter worrying about something going wrong with him. But if you had the nerve, all he has to do is get there.
No, okay. All he has to do is get. It was an incredible performance considering he beat a Coventry winner and like Arm and a Futurity winner so easily. Elsewhere, anything take your eye over the course of the weekend on the equine front, Brian?
I'll give you an equine and a human performance rolled into one. Matthew Smith, Billy Lee, and One Cool Poet. I mean, wasn't the best race of the weekend, but Matthew Smith has big balls on him. He ran the horse 3 times at Galway, and he ran him twice during Irish Champions weekend. And he actually said that the day at Leopardstown just knocked the fizz out of him. So, I mean, he's a trainer going places. He's only got about 25 or 30 horses.
The other thing about One Good Poet, right, he's now rated 100. It's not like they got 3 quiet runs into him before Galway, and he was completely exposed, and to pretty much everyone's eye, an absolute rogue.
He was the biggest twicer in training, wasn't he? Yeah, I knew that.
I'll give you a good one. 2 guys actually left the syndicate in October.
They left the syndicate.
It's like the guys who turned down the Beatles because they thought the horse would never win a race. And I wouldn't fancy being in their company. I'd say their cat has been kicked out a few times.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you think it was maybe after the first, maybe the second win, or the third win in Galway?
I don't know. I know I wouldn't be leaving the pub for a while anyway.
They've given up on horse racing altogether. Yeah. Anything maybe, we're just reflecting on that weekend and that season. And Chuki, you probably go racing more than most. Maybe some people, stars of the saddle maybe from the future. We saw the stars of the past in the saddle last weekend. So who are ones for the future maybe you keep an eye on over the winter, maybe keep an eye on their claim for the start of next year?
Well, I have noticed this young fella in England called Thor Hammer Hansen. Good title.
Good name. But that's a key to any.
No, I also noticed that he just seems to, he's certainly not whip happy, and he just seems to get the horses to travel for him and to find a little bit more when he changes his hands. He looks relatively tidy in the finish. I think the Hammer could have a future. Hammer
Hansen. Cool. Like a great name. Another man with a great name, youngster. Obviously, Kieran Fallon 2.0. I think Andy Slattery probably has to come into that bracket as well, doesn't he? From what we've seen this summer.
Yeah, and I just want to add in Ushinor. I know he's not under the radar or anything like that, but my God, he's top class. I know Weld has taken a shine for him, and he's got, I think, 16 wins for Weld this year, 34 altogether. So, yeah.
Another side to that Oisín is very tall, and he's not like a typical apprentice where he can just do those lightweights and handicaps where he's picking up the lighter weights. Andy Slattery has that role, and Ben Cohen has that role in the side at the moment. So
I think we're blessed with the young riders we have at the moment. I mean, with Golden, I think Noah Mead was saying recently at Roscommon, he says that we have a great bunch of young lads, and I think he's spot on.
Well, speaking of Weld, we should mention this search for a song. Have you ever seen anything like that? Now, I say this through gritted teeth, like back Kew Gardens, and I'm watching the race, and I know, now Chris Hayes did eventually show some initiative to let her go on or what have you. For fully 6 furlongs, she was pulling his arms out. And I'm watching this race, and Kew Gardens is coming and what have you, and there, she's going to fall in the hole. Any second now, she's going to fall down, and she wins by 2.5 lengths. I mean, if they can somehow get away to settle her, she's some engine, doesn't she?
Yeah, incredible. A stayer with speed. Right, let's move on to the weekend action then. It was so a big one there, the Gold Cup, 3:45. How did it bet here? Is Gerline still got the favourite?
Yeah, well, the two that are attracting money is Buffer Zone and Gulliver, really. Buffer Zone was 12-1 at the start of the week, now 11-2. He won easily at the Curragh on Sunday, but he picked up a penalty for it. Whereas Gulliver was third in that race, doesn't have a penalty, and I think 6 days or whatever it is, plenty of recovery time for this type of race. 8-1 from 20-1 Gulliver, so real kind of strength behind that horse. The ground is going to be unusually fast for air.
Yeah. You imagine there's a lot of dreams broken with their decent ground in there. Yeah.
Well, one horse who will really like it will be Summergand, who's in there at 10-1, but doesn't seem to be getting a huge amount of support. You've got Mr. Lupton in there at 16-1. Richard Fahey loves to win this race. He's won it twice before. And then I suppose, actually a little stat, 3 of the last 8 winners have been from stall 8. Hey Jonesy's in there, 20-1. But the one I like for David O'Meara is I can't say it. Intisab. You've been in the UK too long. I know.
We call him David O'Meara.
Yeah, I just think very shrewd Jackie on board. £7 claimer is around 16-1, a bit of each way support.
Good stuff. Who do you like in the Ergo Cup run?
Yeah, the stablemate of Intisab, Gulliver. I'm
so eye-catching at the Curragh.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if you don't have a good joke wrapped up your sleeve about Gulliver and his travels.
Well, indeed, but he was just his travels were constantly interrupted, weren't they?
Exactly. And I think that's just, you're going to be a hostage to that kind of a situation again here. Buffer Zone, he's an obvious one. The price is probably gone on Gulliver, to be honest with you.
Was it you who had it at 20 at
the
start of the week?
No, unfortunately not. No, I would have even taken the 20 at those bigger prices. But away from the obvious ones, the Bullard form looks pretty strong. I think Staxton is a horse who's been on my radar all season.
Yeah.
I think Tim Easterby's obviously a master with these sprinters. He's a 4-year-old. He's drawn in 4. A career best is needed to get involved, but at around 25 or 33, I'm not sure what you have him in at, but he might be a little small
one for you.
poke. Yeah.
Okay. Backing unlucky losers in big field handicaps is an undoubted path to the poorhouse, but are you still with Gulliver and his wayward travels?
You'd have to give him a massive chance. I came down on the class angle, you won't be shocked to hear. This Major Jumbo. Last time he ran the handicap, he won it off 102 in York last year. He runs off 108 here. His last 3 runs, respectable run in the July Cup, wins a listed race at Chester that couldn't be working out better by 3.5 lengths, and then a respectable run in the Haydock Sprint Cup. He's off 108 here, he's drawn 20. I actually didn't see masses of pace involved in this, so he could get out and bag the stand side rail. Hard to pass the Jumbo.
Yep, that's fair enough. Elsewhere on the air card, you got the Firth of Clydesdales and the Silver Cup. Anything catching your eye in either of those, Cheeky?
Well, I tried. I had a look at the Silver Cup and I tried to get away from the Fav because I know I could see you looking at me. But I mean, this Alcarama, he's a 3-year-old. He's had 6 runs. He's trained by Michael Stout. He's £2 well in. Now the bookies, you could argue, haven't missed him because they've only stuck him in at 5-1. But I think he's going to go off 11-4 or something.
Yeah.
I mean, the form of that Chelmsford race that he won on his penultimate start could not be working out better. And I imagine the Ascot race where he was beaten by another 3-year-old will work out well. You just can't get away from this Fav. I can see you looking at me, Tom, but like sometimes the Favs can be value as well, you know?
And what price is the Fav in the Silver Cup then?
5-1. We haven't seen much money in general for this race as of yet. Alcarama ran a very good race at Ascot, caught our eye. I like Citron Major at 14-1 as well, who ran a very good race at Ripon after winning at Windsor, and then I think the drop and trip will suit him as well. But Alcarama, I imagine, will shorten up quite a lot on the day at 5s.
Yeah, fair enough. Can you get away from the Fav in the Silver Cup?
Yeah, I won't repeat too much of what Dukey said. In fact, actually, I'll give you one against him. I'm going to go Admiralty. I thought I had a solid chance off top weight. Doesn't have a load in hand or whatever, but I mean, he's a horse that we all know from his time with Johnny Murtagh. To say that he's probably disappointed since he was, I think he was 80 grand or something to say since he joined Roger Fell. But he ran a cracker in Irish Champions Weekend 5th. He usually runs his race. If you're looking for an each way alternative, I'd say Admiralty.
Yeah, that's a fair enough shot. The Firth of Clyde, the 2-year-old race.
Orla is the favourite at 3-1, coming out here off the back of the win at Newbury. Her form was boosted that day. The ground was good to soft. I reckon she'll be able to run to a similar level here. Again, I think it's a little bit hard to look past her. The other one really is Rose of Kildare, who deserves a mention at 13-2 after recent handicap efforts.
And you say you've got the Millreef priced up as well over at Newbury too.
Well, Pierre Lapin's the new favourite at 3-1. This is a horse who made such a great debut at Haydock, was meant to go to Royal Ascot, didn't go to plan. So, you know, he just looked like such a promising horse, so we're all dying to see kind of if he can continue that. And also he's a half-brother to a winner of this race in the past, Harry Angel. So hopefully he can confirm the promise that he showed in May, 3-1. Richard Hannon's got second favourite, Mystery Power, at 100-30, who was well beaten by Pinatubo at Goodwood, but you can forgive him
I think that's forgivable, yeah. I mean, either of those 2-year-old races, do you get anything standing out for you in either of them? Obviously, it's one of those situations where a weekend you have 2 6-furlong races for 2-year-olds, and you know, obviously they break each other a bit.
Well, it's very interesting because I think that the Pierre Lapin is probably one that I can leave alone. Like you,
I'm actually not with Pierre Lapin.
Well, his debut was so taken or what have you. But this kind of horse is usually underpriced the next day because of potential or what have you. But there's one running again that won on its debut in that fillies race in Ayr called Al Razma, and she's 7-1. And I don't know how she's 7-1 because she went off 12-1 on debut in Chester, a very hard place to make her debut. Understandably green, but she actually put the race to bed in a couple of strides. Really impressive. The second, you can basically set your watch by the second. It's kind of a mid to high 80s 2-year-old.
Yeah.
So she's run to a level there that puts her about 7 or 8 pounds behind the best of these. She's surely going to improve that much for her debut, and she could improve any amount. And she's got in 7-1. Now, I understand Orla because Orla's a very progressive filly and the form of the last day did work out well, but I definitely thought Al Rasmus should be second favourite, and 7-1 looks too big.
Too big. Right, anything for you in those 2-year-old races, Brian?
I'd only be backing something blind. I'd be more interested in the Gore and stuff.
Good stuff. Well, let's move on to the Denny Cordell Stakes then at Gore Park. Due off at 4:15. Do you have betting for that one yet, Nicola, or are we?
Let Brian chat away first.
Go on.
It's probably not the best renewal of the race.
What?
It's fair to say. Frosty is interesting. You've got
Frosty over at the track with 2 runs back with that finish, thinking her second start. You just have her marked down for a race like this when Aidan hoovers up black type at the back end of the season,
what's her
don't
excuse
you?
for the last day?
Probably just too high class a bit. I mean, maybe she'd like it a little bit softer, but
a sister to Winter. I mean,
full sister to Winter. So you know, she wins this, and it's like never seen again. Yeah. And the only time you see her is in a sales catalogue.
Big vote of confidence that Dunica rides, because the other credenza would have the rating to be close in this, and there's Aidan has a few others. So obviously he's trashing it out with Colin Keane at the moment for the title. I'd nearly give Frosty the benefit of the doubt. She is a high class, she's not top notch, but but
she's bred to be absolutely top notch.
Not a huge British representative. Shenanigans is obviously coming over, would have a chance obviously on the ratings, but I'd say Frosty might be the one. I think it's going to be a good day for Aidan O'Brien as well. I thought Peaceful and Arthur's Kingdom will probably win area on the card, but have you any opinion on the group three?
Are you with Frosty, or are you going to look elsewhere?
Well, this is absolute news. I did this, I was on top of things this morning, and I previewed it before the jockey bookings come in, and I didn't know that title chasing Dunica O'Brien was not right. I like
your second mention there. Title chasing Dunica O'Brien.
Yeah. So I mean, this is very interesting. I was sure credenza would be favourite, but now I've changed. But I'm still backing credenza.
Yeah.
Because basically
you get a bigger price.
Yeah, you get a bigger price, and basically I think if she repeats either of her last 2 runs, she wins. People might be concerned about the backup from last Sunday, but last October she won a maiden, and then 4 days later she placed in a listed race. So this filly backs up with the best of them. And we're going to get a bigger price because I don't know what is title chasing Donncha O'Brien doing. Should be on for them.
Have a word. Ring Kevin O'Ryan. Ask him.
Yeah.
Ask him what is going on with these jockey bookings. Do you have any for that one?
We'll have them up later on.
Don't worry. Okay, cool. Elsewhere on the Goran card, Juki?
Brian already mentioned Peaceful. She'll win. She won't be much of a price. And the Ultra Pride in the 450 drops back 2 furlongs in trip. 3-year-old Sheila Lavery, impressive on penultimate start over 10 furlongs. I think the drop back in triple suit. And it's drawn wide, very little pace in this race. Looks like you get a solo up front, hard to pass.
Yeah, good man in front, Robbie Colgan. Is he taking your selection again?
But that is a vote of confidence now. That is brilliant.
Is it?
Yeah, that's music to my ears. I've got one more actually.
Yeah.
Russian Vine in the 340.
In the 340.
Second in a claimer at Bellewstown. We get to see how that form is going to work out because the third Zamar runs tonight at Dundalk. Dundalk is back for Michael Halford. So that's going to be interesting. I thought it was a shrewd enough pick up by Kevin Coleman. A mark of 59, this filly should go close on her debut for that yard. This man stole my thunder. Ultra Pride.
Ultra Pride, Peaceful gone by.
Oh, sorry.
She's a really good looking filly, that Peaceful.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Float at home.
Mm-hmm. Okie doke. Right, it's Sundays. No racing on Sunday, so let's not focus too much. Yeah, you do a bit of gardening. You can catch up with your family or something.
Swimming in the sea.
Anything else for you over the course of the weekend that you're looking forward to?
That's your lap, Tom.
England will cover the handicap in the Rugby World Cup against Tonga. Aside from that.
Great.
Yeah. No, that's it. Okay, well, let's get our best bets of the weekend then. And traditional Trixie time, Juki, so we'll start with you.
We will start with Al Razma, who I will nap in the 3:15 at Ayr. We will then go for the Silver and Gold Cup double with Al Karama and Major Jumbo.
Ambitious, I love it. Go on, Nicola.
We'll start with the Ayr Gold Cup into Sab, who's 2 out of 3 at the course, and Angus Villiers on board. I'm going to go in the Mill Reef Stakes. I really like a horse called Malatru, who ran well in the Gimcrack. That form was boosted then with Threat winning at Doncaster. Then in the Dubai Duty Free Handicap later that day, Forest of Dean is having a great time of it and around 5-2.
Good stuff. Brian?
The Ayr Gold Cup, I know I was talking about Staxon, but I think Gulliver is a solid each way bet, so I'm going to put him forward. And then we've got Ultra Pride into 450, and just because it's an absolute good thing, Peaceful in the Maiden, the 135.
Yeah, you need a winner for your stats. Yeah. My best bet of the weekend is Gulliver in the Ayr Gold Cup. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll be back again next week with more What's the Word.